Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts. And I'm excited to kick off Season 2 of our podcast series in partnership with Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. It's called We Are REC. Every week we'll release a new episode talking to different people from REC about a host of different topics. We'll get tips for saving money on your electric bill. We'll talk about renewable energy and the impact it can have in our communities. We'll get some behind-the-scenes info about what happens when the power goes out in a storm. Don't miss out on information about community grants, scholarships, REC-hosted events, and more. Get every single episode on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or on Spotify. Just do a quick search for We Are REC. Hello and welcome to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Monday as you are listening to the show today. However, we have pre-recorded our conversation via Zoom with Kisha Washington. She is the founder of CookzCreed Foundation. And Kisha, I feel like I should say CookzCreed because it does have a Z on the end. It's not really an S.
Right, exactly.
But I am so glad that you reached out to me and wanted to be a guest on the show because I think that this foundation that you have started is a really cool concept. But before we get into that, tell me a little bit about you because obviously CookzCreed means that you are a chef in some form. Tell me a little bit about you and your background.
Yes. So I'm Kisha Washington, and I am the chef and owner of 3 culinary industry businesses. I'm super excited because 2 of those businesses are here in Virginia. One's in Maryland. And CookzCreed Foundation has recently taken off. So just kind of a little bit of background about what I do. My first love, of course, is food. And I'm a chef in my first business called The Key Ingredient LLC. And I do private dining and chef table experiences for the DMV area. And as well, I travel all over the place too. So always it's nice to get a gathering of people together and do a nice private dinner. In my second business, it's called the Kitchen Spectrum Collective. It's a one-stop shop chef platform that gives you everything from website building to branding to menu development, mentorship. It gives you a number of different things. A lot of times chefs do not have that one-stop shop where you can kind of get everything in one place. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring to the table. And then, of course, the baby of the business is CookzCreed Foundation, which is fairly new. We started in April and has quickly taken off. So I'm super excited because CookzCreed Foundation is a foundation that has a number of different things that we offer. So first thing that we offer is scholarships and funding and grants for culinary students. We have a kind of a, let's see how to look at this. We have a number of different items that culinary chefs and culinary students have to go through in order to get through culinary programs. We have to go through a number of testing and have a number of materials. And I kind of wanted to provide something for those particular type of individuals to get chef jackets and knives and books, anything that they may need to go into the culinary program. So that's the first thing that we offer.
So being a chef isn't as simple as saying, hey, I'm a great cook, I'm just going to go out and do this. You have to go through a process. There are, much like becoming a real estate agent or a hairdresser or any of these other trades, being a chef is also one of the traits.
Exactly. And there's so many things that go into being a chef. Like you said, not just the food and not just cooking, but you have to know how to plan a menu. You have to know your food costs. You have to know what your allergies of your clients are, how to talk to clients, how to even get your clients. So it's a number of things that kind of goes into being a chef. So I kind of wanted to provide that in the organization. The second, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I remember the first time I ever watched Top Chef.
One of my favorite shows.
And I could not understand, initially I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be cool. I'm going to watch them prepare these really cool dishes, but they really do get in the weeds too because there's always one episode where they have to do exactly what you're saying and plan a menu and run a restaurant. They have to set a restaurant up. And that isn't something that I think most people think of top of mind when they think about a chef having to have all of these different abilities and skill levels and talent.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's the good thing, I guess, about social media and television is that they kind of give you the concepts of what a chef looks like, what we kind of do, but they don't necessarily always give you the background information or what we do behind the scenes, behind the kitchen. They don't give you those kind of options. So that's one of the things that I wanted the organization to kind of hit on is there are other things that you may need to get to those points or get your goals, reach your goals, and reach other parts of the culinary industry that you may need. So that's the first part of what we do in the organization. The second part is we provide mental health awareness resources to our culinary chefs. And this part, I feel like it's near and dear to my heart because a lot of my family members, a lot of my friends work in the mental health field. And I find that there is a lot of mental health issues and problems in the culinary field. Chefs are always trying to be the best. We're always trying to be one up on the other. We're always trying to move forward, always trying to get ahead. And sometimes that perfection, that trying to be the best can sometimes weigh on you. And it's not really talked about in the culinary field. It's kind of like if you're the head chef, you got to keep your head down. You got to do that 60 hours. You got to get the work in. But nobody's really talking about the times that we mess up or we make mistakes, or we're not ready for the day and we're just kind of down. No one really talks about those things. So I wanted to provide some resources that chefs and other people can kind of go to and actually be able to get the things that they need within the culinary field. So I'm super excited about that part. Yeah.
It's a really high pressure field. I mean,
it really
in addition
is.
to there's a timing aspect of it because it's not like, we're recording this now on Zoom and we started recording at a certain time, but the truth of the matter is it could take us an hour and a half to record this show. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
You're preparing a meal for somebody, you've got timing to deal with. And then there's also the perspective of what if the person you're serving it to doesn't like it, or it's not there's this judgment that goes along with it. There are so many aspects.
Yes, absolutely.
A chef, but not even just a head chef, that I can imagine where you spend a lot of time in your head, which isn't always the safest place probably to be.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I find, especially for myself, and I'm sure other chefs can feel this way, is that when it's crunch time and you got to get a meal done, there's so many emotions that go into that. You're happy that the food is tasting good, but you're also worried that it might not taste good. You're worried about what the clients are going to say. You're worried about just a number of things in that particular moment. And it's not really talked about as often as we kind of like it to be. So I kind of wanted to provide that kind of platform just so chefs can have the opportunity to talk. That's the main thing, is to open up conversation about mental health, sobriety, and a number of other things that chefs kind of go through in the field. Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting. Years ago, probably 100 years ago when I was younger, I used to run with a crowd, as they say. There used to be a restaurant in Winchester in the Apple Blossom Mall called the Ground Round. And it was
Okay.
our hangout. It was where I went, when we would go hang out there. And I got to know all of the people that worked there. A lot of them were chefs. And I know exactly what you're saying. And the thing that I always thought was strange is they all understood that they were struggling, and they knew that other people and other chefs in their industry were struggling, but they didn't know what to do with that. They didn't have a place to go or an outlet. And that's kind of what you're hoping to provide with this particular arm of the foundation.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I want to provide a place where chefs can come, even the chefs that are in fast food or in fine dining, or your private chef, or your culinary instructor, anybody, because there are a number of levels to mental health, and it can run the gamut from fast food all the way up to fine dining. So yes, providing a platform for chefs is a huge thing in the mental health resource awareness. Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned that there were 3 things. We've talked about 2. Can we take a quick break and then come back and talk about the third part of what the foundation does?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Kisha Washington. She is the founder of CookzCreed Foundation, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes for more of this conversation with her. Expecting to hear a commercial? That's what this is, sorta. First, I want to thank you for listening to the Valley Today podcast. You're one of thousands who listen to the show this way every month. Sometimes it's because our listeners are busy and they want to listen when it fits their schedule, or it's a guest of the show who want to hear what they sounded like when they were on the radio. We even have a few binge listeners who listen to a week's worth at a time. Can you even imagine? So if you want those people, your potential customers, to hear your message, then this could have been your ad. And the bonus, your commercial isn't restricted to just 30 or 60 seconds. You can take up to 2 minutes to talk to those customers. And there's even the opportunity to be an exclusive sponsor of the Valley Today podcast, which also gets you on-air mentions at the end of every show. If any of this sounds interesting to you, give me a call at the station, 540-635-4121, or send me an email to janet@theriver953.com. You can also find all my contact info by searching for me on theriver953.com. Welcome back to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Monday as you are listening to the show. However, we have pre-recorded our conversation with Kisha Washington over Zoom on a Thursday morning, actually. She is the founder of CookzCreed Foundation. In the first segment, Kisha, we talked a little bit about some of the different services that you provide under the foundation. But I'm curious, why did you start a foundation? I mean, you mentioned at the very beginning of the show that you've got all of these different businesses and balls in the air. You already had 2. Why start a third in the form of a foundation?
So I started CookzCreed Foundation. It was actually an idea of me and my fiance's idea. And we wanted to help the underdog chef. We wanted to help the person that may have the skills, that may have the talent, but maybe is not seen enough, maybe is not getting enough recognition. That's kind of the basis that we wanted to start it on. And it was something that we had been working on for a very long time. But in the midst of everything kind of going on, he passed away in January. And I wanted to carry that legacy for him. And so I dedicated CookzCreed Foundation to him. So wow. Yeah, so I wanted to carry on that dream, carry on that reality, that chefs can help each other, even through the midst of mental illness, through the midst of having that underdog mentality, that we can kind of get through anything. And so yeah, that's kind of why I started the foundation in the first place.
And
Yeah.
then on top of everything else, you started in April in the middle of a
Yes.
pandemic.
Yes, in the middle of a pandemic. Yes.
You literally have no fear of anything, it sounds
Yes.
like.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you mentioned in the first segment, we were talking about the mental health resources that the
Yes.
foundation offers. We talked a little bit about the other resources that you offer to culinary students and other chefs in training. But you said there are 3 things that the foundation offers. What is that third thing?
So the third thing that we offer is mentorship. And this is probably one of our biggest programs because chefs need a mentor. They need someone to go to talk to help them out in situations where there may not be enough chefs and you need someone to help you out for a private dinner. Or you're maybe looking for a job and they have some good connections. So to me, I feel like it's important to have that mentorship program, that chefs can go to and have someone right in the field as they are. Yeah.
And that's tough too, because we all know no matter what type of job you have or what field you're in, it does sometimes come down to who you know.
Exactly. Exactly. We don't like to say that, but sometimes it's who you know. Absolutely.
So because this is a foundation, are you a 501c3?
So we are actually working towards that. Virginia is for our setup for Virginia. It is a nonprofit. So we're actually working towards 501c3 as we speak. Yeah.
So how do you do fundraising? How do you raise money in order to provide some of these services to the culinary, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but the culinary people?
Right. So we have a couple of different things that's going on. We're fundraising right now. Our biggest fundraising idea that's happening right now is we are offering a private dinner for 4, which is super exciting because it's one of our chefs that will come to your home and cook a private dinner for you. The raffle is $20, and basically you put in a $20 raffle ticket into the bucket, and in July, the middle of July, we'll call a number, and if you win, you get yourself a private dinner with one of our excellent chefs. So I'm super excited about that because that's what we do. We love doing private dinners. And the other fundraising way that we kind of bring in money is we offer a number of different products on our site. So if you go to the CookzCreed Foundation website, which is CookzCreedFoundation.org, it's with a Z. You will see in the Get Involved page, there is a section on there where you can actually enter in any particular amount, and you can actually get a kind of like a gift with whatever you donate. So there is a t-shirt that has our CookzCreed logo on it. There is a apron, a chef's apron that you can get that's tailored to you, and that you can use for the kitchen, for your home cooking, and all that. There is some other options in there, such as gold. There's a gold and diamond bracelet that you can get, and a couple of other things that you can get with a donation. So there's different ways that we kind of bring in some money that will help with what's going on.
That sounds awesome. So how would somebody reach out to you because I know that, and I'm not sure if all of the schools in the surrounding area in the Shenandoah Valley offer it, but I know Warren County in particular has a culinary program.
Yes.
Devin
Yes.
ran that program for years. We did a couple of videos and he's done a show or 2 with me in the past.
Yes.
But if somebody is listening right now and they want to reach out to you to get these resources, how do they go about doing that? What's the best way for them to do that?
Okay, so best way is to reach out to the website. The website again is CookzCreedFoundation.org. It's with a Z. They can also, on that website, there is a couple of different forms that they can fill out with their name and their email address, so we can reach back out to you. I can also be reached at the email address, which is CookzCreedFoundation@gmail.com, and that can be sent to me at any particular time. But the best way is to go to the website, because all the information that you need for scholarships, for mental health resources, for the mentorship program, for fundraising, everything is on the website for you. Yeah.
Are you seeing an increase with everybody being home now? I know that we talked in the first segment about Top Chef, and I know that all of these cooking shows that you see on TV now are starting to have kid versions, because kids at a younger and younger age are getting involved. I had a guest on last month from the Extension Office that was talking about how if you get kids involved in growing their food and preparing their food, they're more likely to eat something that's a little more healthier for them than a bag of potato chips.
Right, exactly.
Are you seeing that kind of across the board from the community that you're involved in?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of kid chefs or student chefs have been asking, where can I get a mentor? Where can I find these resources that will help me move to the next level? So yes, I have seen an increase when it comes to kids coming through the door, wanting some funding, wanting to get help for jackets, for knives, and a number of different things. So yes, it has been an increase lately that everybody has been home. Absolutely.
Well, and it's interesting too that you talk about the jackets and the knives, because we all have within our own businesses or our jobs the tools. Like for me, it's got to be the laptop, and I've got the microphone, and there are things that we just either have to have in order to do our job, or we need to have to do our jobs easier. And I think most people think, well, if you're a chef, you just show up at a restaurant and you use whatever they have there. And that's not at all the case. That's a huge misconception.
That is a misconception, because when I do my private dinners, I'm bringing everything: my jacket, my knives, my pots and pans, my food. I'm bringing everything to cook in your home. And that's what a lot of times that a lot of people don't understand, is that there is a number of things and a number of steps that go into being a private chef in your home, or being a personal chef in your home, or just going to the restaurant. A lot of times when you go out to the restaurant, you don't see what happens in the kitchen. There is a number of moving parts. You have your head chef, you have your sous chef, and there are so many moving parts that you don't get to see. You kind of just see when your food comes out, which is great, right? But there are moving parts in the back of the kitchen that have to be done in a certain order, in a certain way. And it's important. It's important when it comes to your food. It's important.
Everything that I know about being a chef or cooking, I've learned from a television show. So I'm probably not the best person to be able. This is why it was so great when you reached out to me. I thought, finally, a real person is going to tell me whether half of this stuff is true and how much of it is just TV.
Right, exactly.
So before we wrap up, tell me one more time, what is the web address, and do you have any social media outlets that you also want to direct people to?
Okay, so the website address again is CookzCreed Foundation with a Z. It's CookzCreedFoundation.org. And like I said, everything can be sent there if you're looking for mentorship, mental health resources, and some scholarships and funding and grants. Everything will be on the website. You can reach out to me at CookzCreedFoundation@gmail.com. Shoot me an email at any particular time. Some social media outlets: we are on Instagram at CookzCreed Foundation. If you're looking for chef services, I'm on Instagram myself, which is Chef Kish, KISH_DYAN. And I post a lot of food photography and stuff on there as well. And then Yeah, so those are a number of ways I can be reached out to.
And to get a raffle ticket, they can do that from the website, and that's only $20, and
it's
it goes to a great cause.
Right, it's $20. Your name goes into a hat, and then we pick in the middle of July. I believe the last day is July 15th. We pick a number, and you could possibly win a private dinner for 4, which would be excellent in your home.
I am totally going to go get one of those as soon as we're done recording. And if I win, we'll have to make a whole nother radio show out of that.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we are going to wrap up our conversation today with Kisha Washington. She is the founder of CookzCreed Foundation. You can find all of the information that we talked about today, resources, raffle tickets, and how you can donate to help support her foundation at CookzCreedFoundation.org. Kisha, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to meet up with me on Zoom.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Tomorrow is Tourism Tuesday, and as I'm sitting here with Kisha on a Thursday morning, I have already recorded tomorrow's show on Tourism Tuesday because I left my house. And I went to meet Carrie Hahn for the Shenandoah County edition of Tourism Tuesday, and we went to Shenandoah Vineyards.
Nice!
So I know, I was pretty excited to leave my house and go out into the world for a change.
That's a great trip right there.
So meet me back here tomorrow a few minutes after noon, and that conversation with Carrie and Ivy from Shenandoah Vineyards will be ready to go for you to listen to. I'll see you back here tomorrow.